Hello, I am Joseph Swensen, and I'm very happy to be here in Bordeaux at the beautiful auditorium that I look forward to making many, many, many wonderful concerts in. Ring Odyssée is by Wagner. It's not my composition. I have had very little to do with this piece. Only in a kind of childish way. I have chosen my favorite parts. And of course, the Ring cycle by Wagner for operas, 16 and a half hours of music. You can't love every minute equally. He would certainly not say that every minute of music is equally wonderful. So I just chose my favorite parts, and they are played in chronological order, but I have found a way to connect the parts to each other. So sometimes they are connected with a common harmony, and you can't tell, unless you know the piece really well, that this is kind of the editing point. You can't tell that suddenly in the opera you have skipped 45 minutes of music. And then other times there were places where the music seemed to fade away and time kind of stands still. There's a lot of that in these Wagner operas. And then it's possible to start something new, even if it's not the same thing that Wagner starts after this feeling. It's a different beginning. Maybe it's 1 hour later in the story. So that's where you edit there. Of course, I had to figure out how to make it practical, because these operas involve tremendous number of characters and scenes, dramatic scenes, etc., etc. I wanted it to be possible to play in an ordinary concert. So the first thing I had to find out is what is the time limit for an ordinary concert before the orchestra needs to be paid twice as much. So the whole thing has to be less than 3 hours, which is fine. So that was the first kind of structural limitation, which limitation is absolutely necessary for any creative process. So then okay, that's the first thing. Second thing is what to do about the soloists, the singers. How to limit the number of soloists, because of course no orchestra can afford on an ordinary concert to have 5 or 6 soloists for one evening. And then it was absolutely clear that the same type of voice that appears in the first 2 operas as Siegmund and Sieglinde, the same types of voices are possible in the second, the third, and fourth operas, where we have Siegfried and Brunhilde. So you have this feeling that the Ring Odyssey is in 2 parts, and the first part is the story of Siegmund and Sieglinde, and the second part is mostly a story of Brunhilde and Siegfried. And then there's the basso. So in some performances, I've included music that has a third soloist who sings Hagen and Wotan. So again, we have this symmetry is the word I was thinking of. And so we have symmetry of Hagen in first part, Wotan in second, and then this is really interesting, because I discovered then that Wagner is thinking of the music also in this way. So many things that are part of the structure of the music in the first part are similar and repeated in the second. This I would never have discovered if I didn't do this project.